Okay, there were two kinds of actions. Remind me what they were.
Past and present? Future?
Yeah, past and present / future, right? And now we're studying
Past.
Right, we started by studying past tense. You remember what a conjugation is?
A conjugation is when the action changes form depending on the doer.
Good. When the action changes form depending on the doer. And how do actions conjugate in Arabic?
By ending indicators that attach to the base form.
Right, ending indicators that attach to the base. So you have a base and then you have something tacked on to the end, right? And that thing tacked on to the end tells you what the doer is, right? What the doer within the action is. Okay, so there are a few more things we need to study with regards to past actions. Remember, so we talked about ending indicators, right? But we also know, right, that pronouns can attach to an action.
When a pronoun attaches to an action, it is always the receiver.
Good. You remember your chance, right? So we've seen that concept before, right? Pronouns attaching to actions. But we hadn't studied conjugations before, right? So it was straightforward. All we had seen was the base hua form, right? And then you have a pronoun attaching to that, right? But pronouns can attach to any of these forms.
Okay.
Right? They can attach to any of these forms. And it's important because we don't want to confuse an attached pronoun with a ending indicator.
Gotcha.
Right? So we're going to be looking at a few different things that happen when pronouns attach to conjugated actions.
Okay.
Okay? Okay. So the first thing we're going to be looking at is the attached pronoun attaching to the they conjugation. Right? Do you remember what the they conjugation was? The hum form?
Hum, oo.
Ooh, right? Hum ja'alu. Right? Hum ja'alu. So this is just one straightforward rule, right? When a pronoun attaches to the they form, that alif disappears.
Okay.
Right?
The alif that we didn't read anyways.
Yeah, right? We pronounced it ja'alu, right? There's no... the alif is not pronounced, right? But when you attach a pronoun, that alif disappears, right? The alif that's not pronounced disappears. So look at some examples. We see kadhabu, right? Kadhabu. We're going to attach the pronoun hu to it, and then what's the end result? It's kadhabuhu without that alif, right?
Okay.
Without that alif. So you're accustomed to seeing the ending indicator as waw alif, right? But when a pronoun attaches to it, what's the ending indicator? It's just the
wow.
Yeah, only the wow will show. Right? Only the wow will show. That clear?
Yeah.
Another example, ja'alu, right? Ja'alu. We attach a ha to it. The end result is ja'aluha without the alif, right? Without the alif. But you can still figure out what the ending indicator is, right? Just based on that. Wow, right? Just based on the wow.
Okay.
And then nasaru plus kum. We have end result nasarukum without the alif.
Okay.
Right? Without the alif. So pretty simple, right? Pretty straightforward. You want to recap that rule for me?
So when we attach a pronoun to the they conjugation, the alif gets dropped.
Yep. Straightforward.
And so if we recognize that there's a pronoun attached to an action and the action ends with a wow, then we know that it is they past.
Exactly. Okay. Good. Very good. Rule number 1 all clear?
Yeah, that was easy.
Okay. Rule number 2. The you-all conjugation plus an attached pronoun. How do you say you-all in Arabic?
Entum.
Entum. So what was the conjugation for entum?
Tum.
Tum, right? It was one of those rhyming ones, right? One of those rhyming ones. So the rule for the you-all conjugation plus attached. So let's look at an example here. We have kadhabtum, right? That's our you-all conjugation. We want to attach the pronoun hu. We end up saying kadhabtumuhu. What did we add here?
A wow?
We added a wow, right? So that's our rule. When you have the tum form plus an attached pronoun, you add a wow in between them. And why do the Arabs do that? Just to make it sound smoother. That's all, right? Because kadhabtumhu just didn't sound good to the Arabs. Right, so they stick a wow in between to make the pronunciation more smooth. So instead of saying kadhabtumhu, they say kadhabtumuhu.
Okay.
Is that clear?
I get it, but my question is now that, so we saw earlier that the alif drops when we attach a pronoun to the oo, Right. And so we recognize that by it ending with a wow.
Yeah.
But then this also, like if we were to hide the pronoun,
Yep.
it also ends with a wow. So how do we know that this is not they?
Right, so that's a good question. How do we know that this wow is not a ending indicator for they?
Yeah.
You're just going to look at what's coming before it, which is a tum,
Oh.
right? And tum is an ending indicator for entum, right? You
So
all.
it's not enough just to look at the letter before.
Yeah, so if you see a wow, just do a quick check, right, to see if you have a tum before it.
Okay.
And tum is very distinct. It never occurs anywhere other than the entum ending indicator.
Okay.
Right, so if you see a tum somewhere, it's an ending indicator for entum.
Okay.
Is that clear?
I think
I
so.
don't think so.
I feel like I might mess this up later.
You might mess this up later. Well, we're going to do some practice, so
Okay.
we'll see if you mess it up later. Let's look at a few more examples to solidify the concept. So ja'altum plus ha. We're not going to say ja'altum ha. We're going to say ja'altu muha, right? We add that wow in between the action and the attached pronoun just to make it smoother. And then one more example. Nasartum plus na. Right, we're not going to say nasartum na. We're going to say nasartu muna. Right,
Okay.
with that wow that we're adding in between the action and the attached pronoun just to make it sound smoother.
Okay.
Isn't that clear?
Yeah.
Okay, so rule number 2, recap it for me.
So when you attach a pronoun to the they conjugation, the tum conjugation, you don't say tum plus pronoun, you say tumu and pronoun. So the wow was added to smooth it over for
Yeah.
a flow.
So you just add a wow, smooth it for a flow. Okay, let's do some practice since you're not the only one who thinks that you might mess it up later.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Yes.
No, it's a concept that needs to be drilled, right?
Okay.
So that's why that's there. So let's figure out what the ending indicator in these actions is, and we'll translate them. And remember, attached pronouns, right? Don't let the attached pronoun confuse you.
Okay.
Okay. So number 1, كذبوهم.
كذبوهم. Okay, so hum is an attached pronoun.
Good.
We-
It's a good first step, right? To find your attached pronoun, right? So that you can accurately identify your indicator.
So we ignore it.
We ignore the hum.
And then we have a wow, ooh.
We have a wow,
So that tells us it's they.
right? That tells us it's they. Are you sure it's not that rule number 2 thing with the wow for smoothing?
There's no tum.
Yeah, there's no tum before it, so this wow is just, it tells us, it's the ending indicator, ooh, right? The ending indicator, ooh. Okay, so help me translate this.
We translate doer, action, receiver.
Right, so what's the doer here?
They.
They, right? The ooh, right? The ooh ending indicator tells us that the doer is they. Good.
Okay.
And then kadhaba means,
Deny.
right? But how are we going to translate it in this case?
Denied.
Right, because it's past tense. So they denied, and what are we going to do with that hum?
Receiver, them. They denied them.
Right, doer, action, receiver. Good. Doer, action, receiver. And don't let this new information erase everything you've learned before. Right, it's still an action sentence, right, with the doer. It's just that the doer is embedded within the action. And then we have a action and receiver. So it's just like a normal action sentence.
Okay.
Doer, action, receiver. Okay, number 2, قلته.
He is attached pronoun.
Good. First thing we're going to do, identify our attached pronoun. What are we left with?
قلتي. T is rhymes with anti. So that's you feminine.
Good. Is it just the T that's the ending indicator?
No, it's the sukun in the T.
Yeah, the sukun and the T. And what did you say that was? That was?
You feminine.
Yeah,
Anti.
N-T, right? You, feminine. So how are we going to translate that?
You feminine.
Right, that's our doer. So you, feminine. And then-
Said.
right. Said. It's qala. You, feminine, said.
He said him.
Said him.
Said it. Said it.
Said it, right? Huwa and he translates as him or it. And here, obviously, which one makes more sense?
It.
It. Okay. Ji'tumuna. What's happening here?
I see tumu.
Oh, good. Well, first step, right? Let's go in order.
Oh, na is attached pronoun.
Right. Na is an attached pronoun, and then we're left with a
Tumu.
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 Good. Right? So it's not, is it this wow an ending indicator?
No, it's there for smoothing because there's the tum.
Yeah, we see a tum here, right? So we know that this waw is there just to smooth things, right? So the doer here is
Tum you all.
tum is, right, you all. So how are we going to translate this all together?
Doer, action, receiver. You all.
Yep.
Came
To
us.
Good. You all came to us. Number 4. Sa'aluna.
Na is attached pronoun.
Good, na is an attached pronoun.
And then u tells us they.
Right, u tells us they, but wasn't it waw alif?
No, the alif gets dropped when you attach a pronoun.
Good, the alif drops when you attach pronoun, so the waw tells us that it's they. And then, how are we going to translate?
Doer, action, receiver. U was they.
They
Asked. Na us.
Good, they asked us. Doer, action, receiver. Number 5, ja'uka.
Ka is attached pronoun.
Good, ka is an attached pronoun. What are we left with?
Ja'u. Waw tells us that it's they.
Good, waw tells us that it's they. And translation?
Doer, action, receiver. They came to
what was ka?
you.
You. Good, they came to you. Alimtumuhu. Last one.
Who is our attached pronoun?
Good.
And we see u, so that is.
Does u tell us that it's a they?
No, this is there's a alimtumuhu tum.
Yeah, before the waw we have a
Tumu.
tum, right? Before the waw we have a tum, which tells us that this waw is not an ending indicator, it's just there
For smoothing things.
to smooth things out, right? The actual ending indicator is tum, which is what?
You all.
You all. Good, you all. So then the translation here would be?
You all. Alima knew.
Knew, good.
Him or it.
Good. You all knew him or you all knew it. Very good. Rules number 1 and 2 all clear?
Yeah.
Know how to distinguish between an ending indicator waw and a smoothing waw? Okay, let's look at our last rule. Attached na versus embedded doer na. So, remember when you memorized your attached pronouns chart, right? The attached version of nahnu was
Na.
right? So when we memorized our conjugation chart, the ending indicator for nahnu is also
Na.
right? So you see what the problem is, potentially?
That you can't tell the difference between a attached pronoun and an ending indicator?
Yeah, but actually you can, right? Because the ending indicator wasn't just na, it was
Oh, the sukoon and the na.
the sukoon and the na, right? Which is why it's important to remember that the harakat, right, are also part of the ending indicator.
Okay, so that's why we had it highlighted.
That's why we had it highlighted, right? So that's the
Okay.
key difference, right? And that's how you're going to tell the difference between an attached pronoun na and an ending indicator na,
Okay.
right? So you're just going to look at the letter before. If it has a sukoon on it, then it's a what?
It's embedded doer.
It's embedded, right? It's an embedded doer. And if it doesn't have a sukoon before it, then it's a attached pronoun,
Okay.
right? So here we see, right, ja'alna, we have our sukoon and our na, right? As opposed to ja'ala, right? That's just our base he form. With an attached pronoun na, that's ja'alana.
What difference does it make, though?
Oh, it makes a big difference, right? It makes a big difference because what does an ending indicator tell us? It tells us
Who the doer is.
it tells us who the doer is, right? So ja'alna would translate as
We made.
we made, right? Because we is the doer,
Mm-hmm.
right? How does an attached pronoun translate? The thing you chanted at the beginning
A pronoun attached to an action is always a receiver.
is always a receiver, right? So the attached pronoun is going to translate as a receiver,
Okay.
right? So ja'ala translates as what?
He made.
Right? He made, and then how would we translate our receiver?
Na us.
Yeah, he made us.
Oh,
Right,
okay.
so-
Okay, yeah, that is a big difference.
Very big difference, right?
Okay.
In one, we have it translating as the doer. In
Uh-huh.
one, we have it translating as the
Receiver.
receiver,
Okay.
right? So it does make a very big difference.
All right.
So you have to be able to distinguish between your attached pronoun and your embedded doer indicator, right? The indicator. Is that clear?
Mm-hmm.
So how do we distinguish between the two?
If the na has a sukoon on the letter before it,
Mm-hmm.
it is a embedded doer.
Right.
If it doesn't have a sukun on the letter before it, then it is an attached pronoun.
Good, it's an attached pronoun. Let's do some practice with that. Okay, so we're going to look at some actions. You're going to tell me if it's an attached pronoun or if it's the doer, right? The embedded doer, ending indicator. So, فَأَرْسَلْنَا, what do you think?
I'm going to say doer because there's a sukun before the na.
Good, there's a sukun before the na, so it is a doer. Simple. جَعَلَنَا, number 2.
I'm going to say attached pronoun because there's not a sukun before the na.
Good, right, before the na we have a fatha, right, not a sukun, so attached pronoun. What about كَذَّبَنَا?
Same thing. I'm going to say attached pronoun because there's no sukun before the na.
Good. جِئْنَا.
Jitna. I'm going to say doer because there's a sukun before the na.
Good. Doer because sukun. رَزَقَنَا.
I'm going to say attached pronoun because there's no sukun before the na.
Good. No sukun, so attached. And أَرْسَلُونَا.
I'm going to say doer because there's a sukun before the na.
There is a sukun before the na, but I want you to look closely at this one. أَرْسَلُوا.
Oh.
What do we have?
Ooh is
The sukun is sitting on a
wow.
wow. And what does a wow tell us?
Wow tells us they.
Right, wow tells us they. Wow tells us they. And what's the base form? Because you memorize your vocab. The base form is?
Arsala.
Right, arsala. Right, arsala. So on top of the base we have a ooh, right? And everything on top of the base is either going to be a
pronoun or an indicator.
Yeah, an indicator or pronoun. So we have arsala. Obviously there's no pronoun wa, so this is a
indicator.
Ending indicator. Right, it's an ending indicator.
Okay, so the sukun, if the sukun is sitting on a wow, then it's not gonna be embedded doer?
Yeah, right, because the ending indicator u, right, for the hum form has a sukun on it.
Okay.
Right, this is just part of the indicator.
Okay.
Right, so if it's sitting on a wow, yeah, it's not going to be it's not part of the
not part of the
na indicator. Right.
Okay. So then it's an attached pronoun.
It is an attached pronoun. Right.
Okay.
Last one made it a little bit tricky.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought I had it.
Well, now you do.
Okay.
So, quick recap of the 3 rules that we learned. First one was the hum form. كذبوا. What happens when you attach a pronoun?
The alif drops.
The alif drops.
And you're just left with a wow.
Right, you're just left with a wow. The second one, the tum conjugation. What happens when you attach a pronoun to a tum conjugation?
Oh, to smooth it over, you add a wow. So
right.
You say tumuhu.
Yeah, tumu. You'll see the tumu because the wow is there for smoothing. And the very last rule?
The last rule was...
The 2 kinds of nas.
Oh, okay. So, the embedded doer na is going to have a sukun on the letter before it.
Mm-hmm.
And the attached pronoun na is not going to have a sukun on the letter before it.
Very good.